Started in 2017 from the humble beginnings of his bedroom, Clint419 was able to build a global fashion brand. Corteiz has been featured on major publications such as Harper's Bazaar, Vogue, and he's even been co-signed by huge designers such as the late Virgil Abloh. This video will be discussing the 3 marketing tactics that Clint has used to help grow his brand into the global brand it is today. And make sure you stay to the end, because one of these tactics is what luxury brands such as Hermes do to help promote their brand even further. And so in this video, I'll be showing you how you can use these techniques on your business if you so choose. Okay, number 1, guerrilla marketing. And I'm just going to give you a definition. Guerrilla marketing is a marketing tactic in which a company uses surprise and or unconventional interactions in order to promote a product or a service. Guerrilla marketing is different than traditional marketing in that it often relies on personal interaction, has a smaller budget, and focuses on smaller groups of promoters that are responsible for getting the word out in a particular location rather than widespread media campaigns. So you might be wondering, why would Clint use guerrilla marketing? Because he owns a small independent fashion brand, and in order to get as much of the market share as possible, he's going to have to do stunts. He doesn't have the same marketing budget as a Supreme or as a Bait because he's independent. And so in order to get the most eyes, he has to do something very drastic. And so let's start with one of his most interesting stunts, the Great Bolo Exchange, in which he basically told people to come and swap their Monclers, their Supreme jackets, their North Face jackets in exchange for one of his great bolos. So this caused an uproar on social media. People were upset. They were like, why would you want to trade your Supreme jacket for a bolo jacket? And other people were like, we have the right to do so. So everybody was just angry. And on the day, hundreds of people came to swap over their jackets. And then when they swapped their jackets and got their bolo in exchange, Clint then donated all of these designer jackets to charity for the homeless people to wear. And so when he did donate the clothes to charity, that also caused another social media frenzy of people basically eating their words and being like, wow, this is so great. And then publications picked it up. So that's a great example of guerrilla marketing, right? Something small, something personable, but it made a lot of noise. Other examples of his type of guerrilla marketing is like the pop-up stores, getting people to chase him down the streets, doing all of these fun and weird things that get people really interested, and people come out by the hundreds, by the thousands. This ultimately leads to creating a cult-like fan base where people would literally do anything to be able to get a chance to get access to your clothes. And this form of guerrilla marketing creates invaluable content which can be used now to put on social media, but then also later on, that kind of stuff goes down in history as people remembering, wow, people used to chase the streets for this designer. Like when they make their little documentary in the end of it, it's going to be really cool. So the second marketing tactic that they used is barriers to access, which I love. Basically, I am now aware of the fact that if I've seen you in Corteiz, you worked hard for that piece. To even be able to buy a piece of Corteiz clothing, you have to work incredibly hard. I mean, it's a password protected site, so you have to stay active on his social media to be able to get the password. So much effort. There's limited stock, so all the pieces are incredibly exclusive. When he does the pop-ups, he'll like post the location like 30 minutes before, and it won't even be like the raw location. It will be like a roundabouts one where you have to then find it. Another form of barriers to access is when you do come to these pop-ups, you're waiting incredibly long to even get the piece of cargo. Like you might have to get a ticket, then go to another location, then wait an hour, then get the ticket. So it's like there's a lot of stuff you have to do to even be able to get these free pieces, and you kind of have to work hard. You kind of have to sweat to be able to get a Corteiz piece. It's not just something that's readily available to everybody. And this is very similar to Hermes, right? So in order to even be able to get their most coveted bag, which is the Birkin, you have to have spent $10,000 in store already, right? You have to have bought loads of clothes, scarves, shoes. You have to buy a lot of stuff before you can even get the Birkin. So A, that's extra marketing. And B, by the time you actually do get that Birkin, it's like, damn, I worked hard for this Birkin. Like I'm going to appreciate this Birkin so much, because you know what? I had to spend all this money and do all of this and then be on a waiting list to even get the Birkin. And that's kind of the similar tactics that Clint is using. You had to search for this password. You had to go to a pop event. You had to bring this thing. You had to wait like an hour. You had to do all of these things. By the time you finally get that piece, you treasure it way more because of just how hard you had to work to get the piece. For a lot of these people, their Corteiz tracksuit can be like their most prized possession just because of how hard they had to work to get that Corteiz tracksuit. So the last marketing thing that he did really well is building such a great community. Clint and the Corteiz brand in general are really good at capturing the essence of streetwear. Even the pictures you see of Corteiz and the people wearing Corteiz are really cool. It's like the coolest celebrities. Only the coolest of people are in Corteiz. I mean, Clint and the Corteiz brand has rubbed shoulders with Stormzy, Georgia Smith, Central C, Sloan. They're also really always doing really cool pieces of media that are really shareable, and it's always in the Corteiz clothing. Beyond that, I mean, obviously we're talking about the pop-up events, which is building communities within them. He's also thrown a few free parties. I've actually been to one before, and even there he was giving out free t-shirts. I mean, he's sending his t-shirt to poorer people and poorer countries and doing a lot of charity work. I mean, people want to really be part of the Corteiz community. Going back to those pop-ups, he'll be like, there's only 50 bolos, but hundreds of people will still go. Not just because they really think they're going to get a free item. Mostly it's just because their friends are going, they know that they're going to meet like-minded people around the same age as them, and they can, you know, build friendships, go out places after. People might make a best friend from going to a Corteiz pop-up. It then becomes deeper to some people than just a brand, you know. This is like how I met my buddy. On top of that, he makes it really fun for the people that come, like having to bring exactly 99p for cargo, having to bring a day travel card, just stuff that makes it fun for the person who is into that. Like, there are some people that like to work hard for their fashion, and Corteiz does cater to that person. And due to these pop-ups being wildly successful, it does create a feeling of FOMO from the people who cannot come to these events, i.e. the people that live outside of London. And because Clint is getting them so young, these people will be fans for life. Seeing some of the footage there, it's like 14-year-olds, 15-year-olds, like, this is fun for them. This is what they would love to do on a Saturday. And so I truly believe that Clint has built a really engaged community doing all of these things. And he himself has said that he's never paid for any ads before. But I think the reason he's able to get away with not paying for ads is because he's done all of these free things prior, like giving away free cargos, giving away free jackets, having free parties for people to come and party at his expense. So he is still paying for marketing, but maybe he just doesn't have to pay for paid ads and influence ads because he's cultivated a community that are able to drive it for him. So what can we learn from Clint and the famous Corteiz? I think firstly, if you have a small budget, guerrilla marketing might be for you. Think stunts, think getting in people's faces, think how can I create a buzz and get my brand out there. Number two, I think sometimes making people work hard for your stuff or having limited availability and creating exclusivity around your brand, around your products, can sometimes be a good thing if done properly and if you're giving high quality back. The thing about Clint is that he has limited stock, but people do not complain about the stuff that he gives out. It's high quality, people enjoy it, people are repeat customers. When you're going ahead and doing your guerrilla marketing, just remember there should be a really good product at the end to keep people hooked. Number three, I think it's important to build an engaged community. Even if you spend 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 7 years building an engaged community, once you have built that engaged community, they will be your fans for life. They will support your product for life. So always consider ways of how you can build that community in real life and have these people want to support anything you do. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. If you like this video, you might like my video about Central C and his top 5 marketing techniques and how he was able to blow so quickly as well. I speak a little bit about Corteiz in that video as well, so definitely go and check it out. You would really enjoy it. Have a lovely day, and if you want to talk to me about how we can take your brand to the next level with creative marketing ideas, let's talk. It's in the description bar. Goodbye.